Everybody, welcome back to Video Game Esoteric. You know what time it is? It's time to take another tour through the video game trap house known as Super Sega FPGA, because Alejandro just keeps popping up in the weirdest ways possible, and now he released a 13-minute video of him talking about exactly what happened with Super Sega and saying that everyone outside of like 5 or 10 people have received refunds. And we're going to go over all of those statements and explain why that is just basically imaginary from start to finish, because old Ron Jeremy of FPGA here doesn't seem to be able to tell the truth no matter what is going on. Before we get too far involved though, do me a huge favor down below, hit like and subscribe and ring that notification bell, definitely helps us out. If you feel so inclined and want to support the channel, got a Patreon link down below as well. But I keep making videos every single time Alejandro keeps popping up with quote-unquote updates, and every single video I tell you I know the story isn't done. It's definitely going to go into weirder directions, and it did exactly that. But this one is definitely something that can be easily disproven when they talk about refunds, because at this point in time, every single person out there knows that Super Sega FPGA is nothing more than an imaginary project with a bunch of components that do not do anything whatsoever. But it's given us a ton of memes, like old Salvador Dali of Spain here himself rolling up in his Lamborghini and opening up the door directly into another parked vehicle, and that's just kind of the fun of this thing. It is wacky, it is weird, and it makes no sense, but I can tell you now, apparently Alejandro has contacted multiple channels offering interviews, but he now wants to start charging for those interviews, and someone even mentioned that it was so he could buy cigarettes. That's the level of weird that this has gotten out now. Paid interviews for packs of smokes. And you'll see here the last interview Alejandro was involved with, ILT Juegos channel. I will leave a link in the description below. He's just sitting around with a slideshow frame rate on his webcam, drinking beer, smoking cigarettes, and playing poker with his friends while trying to convince everyone that Super Sega FPGA is real, and he's also refunded everyone from the project, and that he doesn't have any money anymore whatsoever. And that's what this most recent 13-minute video is. I left subtitles on, but I did have a Spanish speaker go ahead and watch it and kind of bullet point it for me as well. He is stating that there's only like 5 or 10 people left that have not been refunded from the project. Now here's the weird thing. I am in contact with 5 different people that pre-ordered the console, and I'm also in contact with other channels that know other people who pre-ordered the console. There's over 10 people that we know combined that have never seen a penny in refunds, so either we are the most lucky people in the world or unlucky and happen to know the 10 people that haven't actually gotten their money back, or this is just again a bold-faced fallacy. And this is a completely different Alejandro than he was kind of trying to portray at the beginning of the project, the happy-go-lucky, everyone loves him dancing fool of FPGA. Now he's trying to just basically seem like he's downtrodden on and that he is broken out of money. But here's the thing that really doesn't make any sense whatsoever. How could you be broken out of money from the project if you refunded everyone and you only made 2 prototypes? It just doesn't cost that much money, and you show people on camera that you have a Lamborghini, that you have a Harley Davidson motorcycle, a very nice one, and you even upload music videos showing you driving other expensive sports cars, being in race cars, being in planes. None of it adds up whatsoever. Where does this money go? Because Sega didn't sue him. We know that for a fact. He even stated that was the case in a very made-up story right before Christmas of 2024. So it really begs the question is, how does he keep talking about in interviews that he's broke and that he's selling his Lamborghini, he's selling his Harley Davidson to cover the costs, but he's also stated that he's already refunded everyone at this point in time, but he also sold the Lamborghini to do the refunds? You can understand where even I get confused here. Everything doubles back in on itself. Nothing makes any sense whatsoever. It is just always a sob story after a sob story, but in the end, the people that I know and other channels know that have pre-ordered this have again not seen a penny back in a refund, and trust me, the odds are not 100% likely that I just happen to know the 5 people that haven't seen refunds. The odds are much more likely that no one has seen a refund whatsoever, and Alejandro just keeps posting these screenshots saying that he's refunded everyone, but we don't have any evidence of it. If you pre-ordered the Super Sega FPGA console and you've got a refund, leave me a comment in the description below, but I'm pretty sure we're not going to hear from anybody whatsoever that that is in fact the case, because I don't think it's happened at all. This is always where the project was going to go, and what I warned everyone about months and months and months ago. This was kind of the bait and switch. They showed something on screen that looked like it could function, and then they said that you could pre-order by reserving a unit for €3 and authorize Super Sega to charge you €375. when they produced the first batch. But of course, within 24 hours, they ended up charging everyone all that money, but they have not produced a batch. That was always kind of the carrot and the stick. The carrot was you only have to pay $3. It's not a risk whatsoever. The stick was your wallet got beaten over its head about a day later with all of the money being withdrawn without anything ever being made. And that's what Alejandro's kind of talk about here. All the different interviews he's been on, the people that don't believe in him in the project, the fact that he's refunded everyone the money according to him, and that it is only a few outliers that he's been trying to help over WhatsApp get their refunds. Other people I know that have pre-ordered the console that have not received any money have not talked to Alejandro or anybody else from the Super Sega FPGA project. If there is anyone, there's been no contact whatsoever. The money is just gone, and I know people have done chargebacks with their credit cards now, and a few of them have been successful, but trust me, being successful at a chargeback is not the same thing as Super Sega FPGA refunding money. One is an active choice that Alejandro would have to make. The other is the bank or card issuer stepping in and refunding people's money because they did not get what they paid for. And basically we're at the sad broke Alejandro stage of this entire scam. It's just always a story of woe, talking about having to sell this and sell that. Why do you have to sell your Lamborghini, and why do you have to sell your Harley Davidson motorcycle to basically recoup your costs and refund people if you didn't make anything other than 2 prototypes? Because again, we know he didn't run multiple thousands of this console because the console doesn't do anything whatsoever. We've gone over all the technology in previous videos, how there's completely missing components, bridge, solder pads on things that apparently should work but do not work whatsoever, and you can just tell that he hasn't spent money making these things because there is nothing to reproduce and make. The money has gone missing, and now he's just basically trying to tell a sob story about how bad his life is and how he's the victim here. It is a classic scam turn, especially in gaming. Suddenly the person sitting around with all of the money delivering nothing is the true victim of the entire enterprise, and people aren't treating him fairly because he showed Ian Lee, I will leave a link to his channel below as well, that he was negative 133,000 euros in his Stripe account. But again, could be a photograph, could just be some HTML editing. But if you took all this money in for pre-orders to manufacture the consoles and didn't manufacture the consoles, he can't be out any money. If I take $100 from you and give you $100 back, I'm not out $100, I am basically at par at zero. And again, the Lamborghini is still for sale for about 100,000 euros, and he even has his motorcycle up for sale now as well. But what expense is he actually trying to cover here? That is the big question, and the one that can't be answered because there is no answer to it. There is no expense to cover. The 134,000 euros has gone missing. Absolutely no one, in my opinion, has received a refund whatsoever, and Alejandro is just going to sit here and tell everyone that he is the true victim, that he tried to bring out the best FPGA console ever invented, and that it was just circumstances outside of his control that prevented him from doing so, and now the entire public perception of the internet's turned against him, poor Alejandro, and no one believes in him anymore. And he even says that at the end of March there's going to be more Super Sega FPGA updates, like this project is continuing. There might be a portion of the project that continues the please give me more money, whoever out there can still be convinced portion, but as far as this actually being any sort of console that could ship, we know that is done. And again, he's talking about his 1 of 500 Harley Davidson motorcycles here having to be sold as well. How are you that broke and you own this much stuff? How do you take 134,000 euros and then apparently refund 134,000 euros and end up in the hole from that? You should be at par 1-to-1 if you just refund people the money. And again, him stating that only 5 to 10 people haven't received refunds is hilarious because I know over 5 people that haven't received refunds. So again, apparently I am just the outlier, and I know everyone that's had an issue and everyone I don't know has gotten the refund perfectly fine. We just know that's not the case right now. Again, Ron Jeremy here is just telling more fibs, as many as he possibly can, to try to buy more time, but at the same time it really begs the question, why does he just not disappear? What is this obsession with constantly being in the spotlight and being believed? If you took 134,000 euros from people and they couldn't get it back, I could be on a tropical island somewhere, a very cheap one, sipping drinks and living in a small house until that money was exhausted, probably in 10 or 15 years. But apparently being honest doesn't pay, because I don't get 134,000 euro bonuses to go to the islands. Alejandro does, and he puts videos up like this. So again, absolutely no idea what in the hell is going on here, but Alejandro is not going anywhere, and there are going to be more updates moving forward on the Super Sega FPGA project, and I really have a feeling that this is going to go to Kickstarter, and he's going to try to say, I could make this product if only I had more money, please support me, and it'll probably disappear with another round of cash as well. But that's the most current situation on the Super Sega FPGA video game Trap House. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. And trust me, Alejandro's telling the truth. Bye-bye.